Alright YouTube, so we are back with another potentially controversial video. Last time we did a literally doesn't make any sense video regarding FF7. It was a bit polarizing. And last time a lot of people were upset with that video. They were in the comment section like, dude, it's just a video game. You're looking too much into it. And like, yeah, I'm aware it's a video game and I'm aware that I'm looking too much into it. That's the point of these kinds of videos. Aerith's death scene is one of the most iconic and memorable scenes in all of gaming. It's something that has stuck with me pretty much my entire life ever since I've seen it for the first time, but it literally doesn't make sense. And we're actually not here to talk about the technical errors necessarily, like Sephiroth coming down from the sky without gloves on, but then when he's pulling the sword out of Aerith's back, he does have gloves on for some reason. Or when we first come across Aerith in the scene, she's actually facing the stairs, but then whenever she's dying, her and Sephiroth have their back to the stairs. You also have them putting so much emphasis on her ribbon being cut here and holy materia dropping down into the water, yet in the very next scene, she still has her ribbon on her character model. And then, of course, you have the entire segment where Cloud walks her body out to the middle of this, like, pond or lake or whatever it is, but then he lets her go and she drops to the bottom of what looks like the goddamn ocean. It's just deep as hell. So, like, how did Cloud even walk out there? That doesn't make sense, of course. Also, on top of all this, when he first picks her up to carry her to the water, her head's facing his right shoulder, but once they're in the water, her head's facing his left shoulder. So you have one of the most iconic scenes in all of gaming, but from a technical and continuity aspect, it might be one of the worst. But again, we're not even really here to talk about that. I just wanted to highlight those errors for those that maybe didn't know about them. But what doesn't make sense to me, and the reason why we're here making this video today, is the scene that's actually about to unfold in the background of this video, and it's just her actual death scene. I cannot possibly grasp why in a Final Fantasy game, setting, world, a single stab would kill somebody. I mean, you are constantly getting hit, cut, slashed, stabbed, shot at, exploded, caught on fire, frozen. Like, so many different things happen to you throughout your journey of a Final Fantasy or just any RPG type of game. And it just doesn't make sense in a Final Fantasy game why somebody would die from a single stab wound, especially when it's the main cast of characters who are obviously a lot stronger than everyday normal people. And I mean, even IRL in our actual world, people get stabbed multiple times and live. People get stabbed all the way through their body and live. People get shot in the head and goddamn live through it somehow. On top of all this, you obviously have the ability to bring people back with Phoenix Downs, the Phoenix Summon itself, or of course Revive Magic or Life Magic as it's called in FF7. And I've had plenty of people try to argue this with me because in Final Fantasy games, most or all of them, when the HP goes to 0, they're technically knocked out, I guess. But in Final Fantasy VII, when you put the Revive material on a character, it gives them Life 1 and Life 2. And I find it hard to believe that the magic is called Life if they're not actually dead. On top of that, in pretty much every Final Fantasy game, you can use Phoenix Downs and Revive or Life Magic to kill or hurt undead enemies, and again, that doesn't make sense to me unless it's dealing with life and death. But let's put that aside. Maybe at 0 HP they're actually knocked out, and these magics and items don't actually deal with life and death. Even with all that stuff aside, the scene still doesn't make sense to me. Why does she, like, instantly die? That type of wound wouldn't kill you instantly. It's not like he chopped her goddamn head off. He just stabbed her through the back. She would almost definitely bleed out from this type of wound, but they have items and magic for that, right? High potions, mega potions, whatever. They use that to heal injuries. You could use cure magic, full cure, cure 1, 2, or 3 to heal injuries, so why wouldn't they just, like, instantly heal her after she got stabbed? The only logical thing I can think of is the actual sword that Sephiroth is using, the Masamune. We know it's supposed to be pretty strong. The original booklet describes it as having extremely destructive power that only he can wield. So maybe the sword itself is magical in nature. We know he can make it manifest whenever he needs it. We see this in Advent Children whenever Kadash turns into Sephiroth. But that could also be a part of Sephiroth's actual abilities, so it may not be the sword at all. So we don't even know if the sword has magical powers or not. We don't know the origins of the sword. We don't know anything about it. And to be honest, I think that's something that'd be awesome if they explored with the remake. And regardless of people's thoughts on Crisis Core or its characters, I love the history they gave the Buster Sword. It was essentially a family heirloom passed down to Angeal. In death, Angeal passed it on to Zack, who then also passes the sword on to Cloud whenever he is dying. And that adds so much more complexity to this iconic weapon we've known Cloud to have forever. It's no longer just the sword that Cloud uses. And I think it'd be great in the remake if they explored the origins of Sephiroth's iconic weapon, the Masamune. Where did it come from? Why is it so powerful? Why is he the only one that can wield it? Does it have magical powers? Is it the reason Aerith dies instantly in that scene? Is it the reason that she can't be healed, like her wounds can't be healed in that scene? What's going on? Like, if it has magical powers or something that prevent her from being healed in this scene, then yeah, I'm fine with that. That's an answer. That explains the scene completely for me. But so far, we don't know that. We've gone 22 years at this point from FF7 releasing, and there's like no backstory somehow at all for the Masamune, which I find strange since it's his iconic weapon, and it's supposed to be this extremely destructive power, and only Sephiroth can control it. It's like, well, where the hell did this thing come from? Because short of the sword itself having magical abilities, there's no reason, given the setting, a magical, fantastical setting, where you can heal people instantly with potions and magic, that Aerith should actually be dead. And so for all of those reasons, Aerith's death scene literally doesn't make any sense. And there you have it, YouTube. That's the video. I realized that making this video, I'm stepping on sacred ground currently. People were pissed off with the Emerald Weapon boss fight video. I can't imagine people being super excited that I'm breaking down this video logically, but let's be honest here, man. There's no reason Aerith had to die. So as always, I pass off to you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And by no means am I saying I don't want Aerith to die in Final Fantasy VII Remake. She has to die. It's one of the most iconic deaths and moments in the entirety of gaming. But if I'm going through an entire game getting my ass kicked, getting stabbed and shot at and lit on fire, I need some more explanation besides stab wound to the back, you're instantly dead. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content, or I guess just kind of Final Fantasy VII content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. And my Discord, links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.